I appreciate the time. I'm going to be pretty brief. I know you guys have heard a lot of demos, and especially the people on the side of the booth. You guys have probably heard too many to count. We began Talitrix 3 years ago with a mission to reduce recidivism, increase compliance, all while protecting the public. When we started this journey with Talitrix, we did so with a discovery phase. We went all across the nation. We spoke to 100 different stakeholders in 3 states, 65 counties, included sheriffs, judges, DAs. Anybody who had a touch point to the electronic monitoring industry, we spoke to. And what we found through our discovery phase was with the electronic monitoring industry, there were 3 main issues. Number one was the lack of innovation, ingenuity, and investment into the technology. You have the traditional ankle monitor. They strap them, they tag them, they track them, and we don't utilize the data. You get a lot of false band tampers. You get antiquated tracking time. Number 2 was the stigma associated with it. In certain areas, when you have a kid or a father trying to get back into society, it's tough for them to go get a job when they walk in and it looks like they got a dog shock collar to their ankle. Number 3 was the cost. And in terms of the local municipalities, the cost was the biggest sort of cost-prohibitive approach into getting people to be on electronic monitors. In the local communities, it ranges between $7 to $12 per day per person. The reason why is the distribution model that these electronic monitoring companies use. They usually tend to go through bail bondsmen and private probation. They charge them $3 a day. The bail bondsman in private probation tags on $7, and so you got $10 to $12 per day per person. So in doing so, through our discovery phase, we developed what's called the Talitrix band. It's the first state-of-the-art independent tracking device that does 3 things. Number 1, we track every 45 seconds. Live time tracking. If you have kids, if you have Life 360, you will see our tracking system track completely live when you get on the highway, when you're at the house, etc. The biggest market differentiator that we have is our notification engine. We developed our own chipsets so that our notification engine hits every 15 seconds. So if you have a band tamper, if you have a victim violation zone, if you get that alert, it alerts you within 15 seconds. Number 3 is the most common way to take off an ankle monitor is to slip it off. When you cut it, you still get that alert, but what we found we were measuring oxygen, heart rate, and blood pressure every 30 seconds. So when you slip it off, we get that band tamper violation just as well. In doing so, we have become vertically integrated, so we charge $3 a day. We manufacture, we deploy, we monitor, we do the case management and the deactivation all at $3 a day. As we went through the process, if this thing will work, we found that one of the most common traits that the industry was not doing was actually utilizing the data. What we found were they were tagging people, they were tracking them, and they were just taking them off. What we wanted to do was capture the data and actually use the data for better outcomes. So what we developed was the Talitrix score. The Talitrix score is just like a credit score. If you have a band tamper violation, it's like going bankrupt. If you have a band battery violation, it's like a missed car payment. In doing so, we're able to tell a municipality how compliant a person is, and then also able, and more importantly, to tell why, when, and how they were compliant. It keeps a log, and the way the system works is just like this. It's completely customizable from high to medium to low priority violations. How the algorithm works is it takes how long the person is on our system. It then measures the violations compared to what they're supposed to do in a positive outcome. So by way of example, if Justin Hawkins is on the Talitrix system for 180 days and I have 15 things I'm supposed to do, but I have 10 violations, that increasingly produces a score, and it tells all the stakeholders, the sheriffs, the judges, the DAs, how compliant this person is, and it's a metric that we have not seen in our industry for a very long time. We then developed a victim app. The victim app is something that we found that most people have out in the industry. However, we wanted to develop something that was a little bit different. So what we did was we developed a victim app that is completely free for the victims. They can download it on their phone, whether it's Apple or Android. And what they do is they download the app. It then geofences where they live, where they go to school, etc. Whatever's on the bond conditions is installed on that victim app. If the offender or participant hits the victim violation zone, we're going to know within 15 seconds. On top of that, what we do differently is we have a floating buffer zone. So we measure the offender and participant's band to the victim's phone. So if they're at the grocery store, we're going to know whether it's 500 or 1,000 feet. If the offender or participant's in the grocery store and the victim's there, we're going to know how far they are apart. So not only do you have the geofence capability, but we're going to know if the offender or participant's not in the geofence location, we're going to know where they are. We're going to know who went to the grocery store first, etc. To the next slide. This is a prime example of us using the victim violation zone and our notification engine. We had a sex offender who was a violent sex offender that went to the victim's house. It was a 13-year-old girl he tried to molest. Within 15 seconds, our security operations center got the notification. Within 2 minutes, we reached out to the jurisdiction. The authorities got there. He escaped all the way from what's called Paulding County, Georgia, and West Georgia, all the way to the line of South Carolina. The state patrol within Georgia utilized the system and tracked him across the entire state right before he was about to get into the state of South Carolina. It's a best use case, and we beg of you guys, we're constantly, my team gets on to me, we're doing free 30-day pilots just to see the system on purpose. Next slide. The biggest differentiator is, I say the industry is like Uber versus the taxi cab industry. You have a regulated monopoly. What we have done is vertically integrated. Like I said, we manufacture, we service, we deploy, we do the case management, everything. And we do so at a fraction of the price point. As I said earlier, one of the main problems in the industry was a lack of ingenuity and innovation. So one of the things that we have developed coming out in December is our second generation band. Our current band, you charge it for 45 seconds. You can plug it into a wall, or you can have a portable clip that goes on top of the band for 45 minutes. It then charges for 1 full day. The band that we're coming out in December has a 5-day battery life at a 45-second rate. What that means is today it's a trade-off. If you want real lifetime tracking, it's less battery life. In December with our current band, you're going to get a 5-day battery life with 45-second ping duration. All the other attributes that I mentioned will be in this T-band. I'm not going to take much of your time. We're at booth 1232. We so appreciate the time. The main reason, the main mission of why we're here is, as I said, there was reduced recidivism, increased compliance, all while protecting the public. When people see the wristband, they automatically think the low offender, low participant, low violent offender population. We have more high-risk, violent offenders on our system than any other sort of type and population. We believe with this technology, you not only eliminate the stigma so people can be productive in society, but it's a better tool for the jurisdictions to have. So we appreciate the time. Thank you so much.